peace and happiness of the whole humanity. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stavakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Stavakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharma swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us pray to Sri Ramakrishna, bow down to him, who is the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. In the last class we discussed about the degree of involvement in God. If we are able to involve yourself in such a way that the mind is occupied with the spiritual ideal, whatever work you may be doing with this spiritual attitude, you will be able to reach the final destination, namely realizing God. And Swami Vivekananda broadcasted to the whole world the divine message he got from Sri Ramakrishna. That was serving God in man. Swamiji says, he who wants to serve Shiva must serve his children, must serve all creatures in this world first. This is the gist of all worship, to be pure and to do good to others. Serving the humanity, serving all the creatures, the attitude of service that has tremendous effect upon the mind. It clears all the impurities of the mind. It makes mind purer and purer, and it makes one to realize God. That is what is said in the scriptures, Nishkam Karma, selfless service. There is a general notion that karma does not lead to liberation. It doesn't lead to freedom. That is a common notion. In fact, all the great acharyas have also emphasized that fact, karma will not lead to liberation. But we must know the karma they are talking about is sakama karma. That will not lead to liberation, very definitely. Sakama karma means you are doing some ritual in order to get some benefit. So, you are performing it in order to have some kind of benefit with self-interest. You want a son to be born, you want prosperity, you want to kill enemies, you want to acquire more property. All these things can be achieved by performing certain types of rituals. So, karma is used in that sense. Going to heaven, if a person conducts 100 Ashwamedha sacrifice, he will go to heaven. And we have got number of stories in our scriptures how the kings would aspire for it and would go. But this concept serving humanity, seeing God, Jiver Seva, Shiver Jnane. That has got tremendous effect. It is just opposite of the karma which I just mentioned now. This Nishkam karma, it not only purifies your heart, it makes you humble, devoted, and your love towards God assumes limitless boundary. And in serving you feel a kind of joy. You feel a kind of joy in serving. So in this modern age, this concept has been given to us by Sri Ramakrishna through Swami Vivekananda. The same concept has been endorsed by the Holy Mother, who was adept in spirituality. In the year 1912, in November, Holy Mother visited Benares. She came to the Ramakrishna Mission Home of Service, which was started by the inspiration of Swami Vivekananda. Even now it is rendering tremendous service to the people. It's called Sevashrama in Benares. It is doing yeoman service. Holy Mother visited that Sevashrama and she was very happy to see things going on there very well, being managed very well. Shri Sharda Devi, she could immediately find out everything about things. She was very happy to see that institution, and she gave expression. She said, Sri Ramakrishna himself is present here, referring to home of service in Benares. She was talking, Sri Ramakrishna himself is present here. Then she said, Mother Lakshmi is here in all her majesty. All the persons who were present there, monks, brahmacharis and devotees, they were all excited to hear this statement from Holy Mother, who was profoundly spiritual. It's not anybody talking in a loose way. It's not like it's not just to flatter a person. Nothing of that sort. Mother, Holy Mother, in a way acknowledged the method of service being done in Benares. It is a kind of approval. And immediately then she gave a 10 rupee note. In those days 10 rupee means very high. She gave that as an offering to this Sevashram. Even today you can go and see that it is kept well preserved. It's a great treasure. It's an invaluable asset of the home of service. And all the monks near about, around, even from Rishikesh, Haridwar, they all come there to have treatment in our Sevashram. Some devotee asked Holy Mother how she found the Sevashram. The Holy Mother said calmly, well, when I visited the ashram, I saw the Master himself present there. And that's why this work goes on here. Remember, Mother is telling, these are all his work. That is Sri Ramakrishna's work. It is his work. Swami Brahmananda ji, the first president of the Ramakrishna order, Swami Shivananda ji, another direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, and all the other workers of the Sevashram, they were all there. And they were all excited to hear these remarks from Holy Mother. Just at that time, of course, Holy Mother, after some time, she left the place. She was staying in some devotee's home. She went there. But these people were all there. The workers and the Swamis, they were all there. Just at that time, Master Mahashaya, the celebrated gospel writer of Sri Ramakrishna, Yam we call, he came there. He used to go most of the weekends to the Krishneshwar Kali temple, and whatever Sri Ramakrishna would talk, would teach, would give instruction, everything he would record. That's what we have got now as Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, on which I am taking classes every Tuesday. And Master Mahashaya constantly coming to Sri Ramakrishna and hearing his instructions, he was of the view that social service without first realizing God by means of sadhana, jap, dhyan, tapas, etc. is quite contrary to the teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna has emphasized in almost all the pages of Gospel, the first and foremost is to realize God. So he believed that it was contrary to Sri Ramakrishna's teachings to get engaged in social service without first realizing God. And he had come at the just time when all these Swamis and workers were all there, and Holy Mother had made observation and had left. Then that message was given to Master Mahashaya. He was told that Holy Mother, she had remarked this Sevashrama was the Master's work, and the Master himself is present there. When Master Mahashaya heard this, there was a kind of review in his thinking, because he knew very well what the role of the Holy Mother was in saving the mission of Sri Ramakrishna. And he agreed that what the Mother had said of the Sevashram as being an expression in action of the spirit of the Ramakrishna message could no longer be denied. So he began to accept the service of humanity is as valid as any bhakti yoga, karma yoga, raj yoga, whatever yoga you're speaking of. Through performing selfless activity, that means to the extent you involve yourself, the degree of involvement is very important. To what extent you involve yourself in God. Particularly when you are practicing Nishkam Karma, your attitude must be very clear and very determined. Every moment when you are engaging in selfless activity, you must be thinking of God inside your heart. That will revolutionize the whole system. All the bad samskaras simply will be erased without your bothering about them anymore, without being bothered by them anymore. Swami Vivekananda, as the true and loyal exponent and executive of the Yugavatar, Sri Ramakrishna, founded and organized the order of Sri Ramakrishna as both heaven for souls thirsting for soul perfection and as a home of immense philanthropic enterprise to be carried on with the conviction that the service is no less worship. Service is no less worship. To put in the words of Sri Ramakrishna, philanthropy should not be not pity to creatures, but service to them in the consciousness that they are verily God Himself. That is the concept we are following. The Ramakrishna mission is following that concept. The most important activity of the mission is serving the humanity. The twin ideals given by Swami Vivekananda in the monogram, Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya. That's the motto of the Ramakrishna mission. The condensed message of Sri Ramakrishna has been expressed through this Atmano Mokshartam Jagadhitaya. For the realization of self and serving the humanity. They are interconnected. And if you serve the humanity, it will lead you towards Atmana Moksha. You get liberation, undoubtedly. So that is a topic which I am concluding today. And I will go to next topic, which is also very important, which has got great spiritual relevance, great spiritual relevance. That is, the topic is, there is nothing greater than faith. There is nothing greater than faith. It's very important, and the whole spirituality depends on this faith. Faith and belief, they are the qualities of a pure mind. And doubt and disbelief of an impure mind. Faith is nowadays represented as blind acceptance and irrational belief. This is very wrong. Faith has a wide range of significance. Wide range. We should think about it properly and then come to conclusion. Faith, it includes in its sense moral earnestness, firm devotion, steady mental discipline, high seriousness, kinship with fundamental realities, absence of duplicity, straightforward conduct, sharp truthfulness, loyalty to ideals and other allied attitudes. Faith includes all these. Whereas doubt, samshayatma vinashyati. A person who is doubting all the time, he ruins himself. Doubt represents a lingering mental imbalance. And the scriptures go so far as to say that a person rooted in doubt comes to no good whatever. Faith can carry us farther than reason. Faith begins with believing what we may not see, but ends in seeing what we believe. That's very important to note. Faith begins with believing what we may not see, but ends in seeing what we believe. If you study Sri Ramakrishna's life, he started worshipping Divine Mother Kali at Dakshineshwar temple with tremendous faith that she was the mother of the universe. She was not simply an idol, she was Chinmaya Murti, full of divine consciousness, With that conception, he offered worship. He started with that tremendous faith. Mother is present here. I should see her. I should talk to her. So that strong determination and pursuing in a steadfast way, Sri Ramakrishna did realize the Divine Mother. It is not true that science is opposed to faith. To every person, belief is power. Faith is the soul's eye. Faith does not rise out of mere thought and sentiment. Faith does not rise out of mere thought and sentiment. It springs from the life lived. Of children it is said, of such is the kingdom of heaven. Children with their trusting minds can accomplish far more in the kingdom of heaven than grown-ups with their so-called wisdom. Because the children have that simplicity and they believe and it gets immediate result. It's a fact. That's why all the noble qualities, virtues must be cultivated when we are quite young. It has got tremendous effect and it bears very good fruit later on. So the story of religion furnishes several instances of the astonishing power of faith. There is a story of Bhai Gopal in which we find a schoolboy getting Krishna himself for his playmate and friend. That story comes in Gospel. The same story has been told by Swami Vivekananda. It is in the complete works of Vivekananda. In his own style, Swamiji has given this story. This Gopal is frightened to go alone through the woods to the school. Never before had his mother felt her widowhood, her loneliness, her poverty so bitter. For a moment it was all dark, but she recalled to her mind what she had heard of the eternal promise. Lord Krishna says in the Gita, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariyupasade. So she remembered that verse from Bhagavad Gita. Those that depend on me, giving up all other thoughts, to them I carry myself whatever is necessary. Yogakshemam vahamyam. That was flashed in her mind. Immediately, it gave her a tremendous inspiration and hope. And she was one of the souls who could believe. So the mother, who was for the moment worrying about to solve this problem, she wiped her tears and told her child that he need not be afraid of. Because in those woods there lives another son of hers, she is telling to the boy, tending cattle, and he is also called Gopala. And he is telling to this boy, if you are afraid when you are passing through the woods, please call him. Call your brother Gopala. Sri Ramakrishna calls him Madhusudan. Swami Vivekananda also tells this story in the complete works. the child, the son who was going to school, was feeling afraid of, when mother told this boy to call his elder brother Gopal, who lives in the woods, the child believed it tremendously, not half and half. It was a fact for him. And the story goes to say how the brother Gopal, elder brother Gopal, the Lord Krishna, actually played with the school going Gopal every day. And he would not only play, and he would give him whatever he wanted. The boy was very happy, and there was no fear at all anymore. Then Gopal's teacher in the school came to know about it, and he wanted to verify the truth of that. So he asked this boy, well, you are talking about that. Let me see your brother Gopal in the woods. Will you show me? Will you show me your Gopal? And this boy said, oh yes, you please come. I will. Why not? You can see him. So he took the teacher to the woods. And as before, he called out the brother Gopal. Though he called him many times, there was no response. Gopal would not come. Brother Gopal would not come. And this boy became sad. And he began to send an appeal, as it were. He said to brother Gopal, look, why are you not coming? My teacher has come, and he will consider me as a liar. Please do come. When he was praying like this with a sincere heart, he heard a voice from a distance. Same brother Gopal's voice he heard. That voice said, well, your love, your mother's love and faith have brought me to you. But tell your teacher that he will have to wait a long while yet. So, Sri Ramakrishna's life, if you study, you find it was a long epic of faith from beginning to end. He was one of those few who could believe and believe gloriously, and he was one whom belief never let down even once. And this belief was the greatest boon he bestowed on the disciples. Living faith. Sri Ramakrishna told Swami Vivekananda, it may be given and received in a tangible fashion, and more truly than anything else in the world. And skepticism in a youth never troubled Sri Ramakrishna, for his certainty about things divine and godly. They were so firmly established that even the ideas about atheism and unbelief on the part of a disciple newly come to him only made him smile Not approvingly, of course, but in a benignly indulgent way. So, whoever would come to him with whatever mental attitude, even though he appeared to be atheist, Sri Ramakrishna would make him, would correct him and establish him in faith. Sri Ramakrishna knew very well that the unbelief is a passing phase in the march towards assuredness. It's a passing phase. There is an interesting incident. One devotee who later on became Swami Abhedananda, one of the great disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. He was in America also, he worked in America also. He was in New York for many years, in our Vedanta center. He was also a very good speaker, and we have got complete works of Abhedananda. His previous name was Kali Prasad. So, when he came to Sri Ramakrishna, he was not like a person who would come to him with tremendous faith and devotion, etc. Of course, he had simplicity and purity of heart. That's very important. Sri Ramakrishna asked him, "My son, do you believe in God?" Now the dialogue between Sri Ramakrishna and Kali Prasad, who became Abhedananda. Sri Ramakrishna asked him, "Do you believe in God?" "No." "Do you believe in religion?" "No." Not in the Vedas, not in any scriptures. I don't believe in anything spiritual. These are the words spoken by Kali Prasad, who became a great devotee, a great disciple later on. The master indulgently replied, "My son, if you had said that to any other guru, what would have happened to you?" He just said that. "But go in peace. Others have passed through these trials before you. Look at Naren. He believes. Your doubts will also be enlightened. You will believe." And Kali Prasad later became holy apostle of Sri Ramakrishna. His name was Swami Abhedananda. So, it has got tremendous significance. I shall continue the same topic in the next class. There is nothing greater than faith. Page 680. Master said to Girish, "One can realize God through intense renunciation, but the soul must be restless for Him, as restless as one feels for a breath of air when one's head is pressed under water. A man can see God if he unites in himself. The force of these three attractions, the attraction of worldly possessions for the worldly man, the husband's attraction for the chaste wife, and the child's attraction for its mother. If you can unite these three forms of love and give it all to God, then you can see Him at once. Cry to your mother Shama with a real cry, O mind, and how can she hold herself from you? If a devotee prays to God with real longing, God cannot help revealing Himself to him. The other day, I told you the meaning of bhakti. It is to adore God with body, mind and words. With body means to serve and worship God with one's hands, go to holy places with one's feet and hear the chanting of the name and glories of God with one's ears, and behold the divine image with one's eyes. With mind means to contemplate and meditate on God constantly and to remember and think of His Leela. With words means to sing hymns to Him and chant His name and glories. Devotion as described by Narad is suited to the Kali Yuga. It means to chant constantly the name and glories of God. Let those who have no leisure worship God at least morning and evening by wholeheartedly chanting His name and clapping their hands. The ego of a devotee begets no pride. It doesn't create ignorance. On the contrary, it helps one realize God. This ego is no more like the ordinary ego than hinge is like ordinary greens. One generally becomes indisposed by eating greens, but hinge removes excessive bile. It does one good. Sugar, candy is not like ordinary sweets. Sweets are generally harmful, but sugar candy removes acidity. Nishtha leads to bhakti. Bhakti when matured becomes bhava. Bhava when concentrated becomes mahabhava. And last of all is prema. Prema is like a cord. By means of God, by prema, God is bound to the devotee. He can no longer run away. An ordinary man can at best achieve bhava. None but an Ishvara Koti attains mahabhava and prema. Chaitanya Deva attained them. What's the meaning of Jnana Yoga? It is the path by which a man can realize the true nature of his own self. It is the awareness that Brahman alone is his true nature. Prahlad sometimes was aware of his identity with Brahman, and sometimes he would see that God was one and he another. At such times he would remain in the mode of bhakti. Hanuman said, O Ram, sometimes I find that you are the whole and I am a part. Sometimes that you are the master and I your servant. But O Rama, when I have the knowledge of reality, I see that you are I and I am you. Girish said, Oh, Master, why shouldn't a man be able to realize God in the world? But he must have discrimination and dispassion. He must have the unshakable awareness that God alone is real and all else is unreal and has but a 2 days existence. It will not do to float on the surface, you must dive deep. With these words the Master sang, Dive deep, O mind, dive deep in the ocean of God's beauty. If you descend to the uttermost depths, there you will find the gem of love. Master said, You must remember another thing. In the ocean there is danger of alligators, that is to say, of lust and the like. Girish, I am not afraid of the king of death, Master, but I am speaking of the danger of the alligators of lust and the like. Because of them, one should smear one's body with turmeric before diving in, the turmeric of discrimination and dispassion. Some attain knowledge of God in the world. Mention is made of 2 classes of yogis, the hidden and the known. Those who have renounced the world are known yogis. All recognize them. But the hidden yogis live in the world, they are not known. They are like the maidservant who performs her duties in the house but whose mind is fixed on her children in the country. They are also, as I have told you, like the loose woman who performs her household duties zealously, but whose mind constantly dwells on her lover. It is very hard to cultivate discrimination and dispassion. It is not easy to get rid of the idea, I am the master and all these are mine. I saw a deputy magistrate who earns a salary of 800 rupees, paying no attention to a religious discourse. He had brought one of his children with him and was busy finding a good place for him to see it. I know another man, whom I shall not name, who used to devote a great deal of time to japa, but he bore false witness in court for the sake of 10,000 rupees. Therefore I say that a man can realize God in the world too, but only if he has discrimination and dispassion. Girish asked, what will happen to this sinner? Sri Ramakrishna sang in a tender voice, turning his eyes upward. Meditate on the Lord, the slayer of hell's dire woes. He who removes the fear of death, thinking of him the soul is freed from worldly grief and sails across the sea of life in the twinkling of an eye. Consider, O my mind, why you have come to earth. What gain is there in evil thoughts and deeds? Your way lies not through these. Perform your penance here by meditating long and deep on the everlasting Lord. Master said, sails across the sea of life in the twinkling of an eye. One attains the vision of God if Mahamaya steps aside from the door. Mahamaya's Rama walked ahead, Sita in the middle, and Lakshman last. Lakshman was only 2.5 cubits away from Rama, but he couldn't see Ram because Sita, Mahamaya, was in the way. We shall stop here. Any questions? Yeah. Yeah, it works in a tremendous way. Look at it. Faith is a power. It's a power. All right, we shall stop. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself, O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as I may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy, consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Oh, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bonds. May the free make others free. May good betide all people. May the sovereign righteously rule the earth. May all beings ever attain what is good. May the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time. May the earth be blessed with crops. May all countries be free from calamity. May holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.